Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to evercrisis. I'm very excited to share with you my no overboost account. I will be posting more things that I successfully complete with this account as I go, but what no overboost means is that basically every weapon that I get, even if I get multiple copies, will stay at just the golden stars. No red stars, no purple, unless it's event weapons. Event weapons I will max out because they are completely free. Besides that, this is a no overboost account, completing as much content as I can, and so far being everything except for Ramu, which I haven't tried yet. So there is that to keep in mind. But let's jump into this video and let's talk about this EX2 and how I did it with a very mediocre account. Alright, so my account, just a little bit of an update, is at 138,000 max power level that it's reached, and the account is only 35 days old. So if I go in there in general here, missions, you can see, well, it just updated right now because it's 3 o'clock my time. So now it's 36 days. So 36 days, I've beaten this at 119 power level. This is the exact setup. Nothing's changed. I want to teach you exactly what I did and how I did it and why that having overboost weapons, yes, does help, but doesn't make it impossible. So just figure out a setup in every event to really help you pass that content. For this one, the key here is bringing in limit breaks that don't have an element. So making Cloud's cross slash fully upgraded or level 5 on Lucia's here really helped amplify that DPS race, especially when the enemy's defense lowered. Key factors here is that Cloud is bringing in a hard edge that lowers defense. You can use a magic team as long as that magic team is using weapons like Aerith, Prism Rod, Wind Materia, Water Materia, or water weapons. Cloud with his maritime water weapon works. Anything that is water or wind is not resisted by the enemy, so you can bring that in. Go right ahead. I went with the Ruinra blows because I can craft these quite often, and I got pretty decent ones. I don't believe they're overpowered or anything. Physical attack 1.1, right? Heal on Cloud doesn't make any sense. So I'm just using with what I have. The rest of the material are stat sticks. They're just stat sticks with triangle Ruinra, right, to break the sigils. This has physical attack 3.6, HP 4.8. I have a materia guide that taught you how to make these 4-star materias, just for the stat sticks. Now, key number 1, limit breaks, big damage, doing really, really good. If you need more HP, switch Lucia's costume. You don't have to use these characters. I'm using this because it's a brand new account. I don't have a lot of characters, so I went with what I had. I had Mad Minute off of Lucia, which lowers magic attack, and it helped a ton here, right? Barret has Bazooka, Red 13 has Junk Collar, Tifa has the Tiger Fangs, so there is other options including limit breaks that lower the enemy's magic attack and physical attack, because the enemy does do a physical attack, but you're focusing on magic. D-Faith helps here to help Lucia not only be the one lowering magic, but is not necessary. It just, my count is very bare bones and I needed that D-Faith to get through there. If you have it, it will help and it only costs 3 ATB. Now, Aerith is going to be doing magic damage. She's not going to benefit from the defense down, so this setup could be better if my healer was physical. But I'm using a 4-star arrow, which magic attack plus 11. It's got heal on it. It has nothing for damage. It's just a 4-star, which means more potency, but a 3-star would have done it here too. She spent most of the time healing anyways. So, key factor is find a piece of damage you can do. Cloud's Maritime, Aerith's Prism Rod, anything that's wind or water. The limit breaks being non-elemental, and bringing in Triangle Sigil, right? These are all very important to pass this quest with lowering the enemy's magic attack. Now let me show you the stats on my characters and what I'm going in with. So you can see everything here, what kind of our abilities. They're on the front weapons. Now let's go check out the back weapons. It was really coming down to a DPS race, and that's why I gave Aerith more of a DPS setup. So instead of going Kiraga or like Guard Stick over here, I was like, I need you to do some damage at some points when you're not healing, so there's no downtime. And I didn't need that much heals to keep up. 1,480, 4,000 HP, very bare bones on this. So that's the current setup I have. Here's my back weapons, healing event weapon, and then that weapon's there just for damage. You can see it has magic stat R ability, and then it's got the attack stance, which gives half and half to physical. And so here's all the R abilities I got on Aerith. And then Cloud's front setup, you guys saw that already. His stats are 2,026 attack, 4,200 HP. And then again, all event weapons. I didn't get to fully farm this event weapon, so womp womp on my end. I lost power, but still completed it. So you can see here, all event weapons stacking that attack and magic R ability. As for the rest of his R abilities, boost physical attack 24, 1 point off, can't do anything about it because no overboost account. 47 over here, and then the rest is just generic. Now, Lucia is sitting at 1,920 attack, 4,600 HP, 4,000 is all you need, and that's her back weapons. 2 event weapons, 1 being the newest one, which is very important here. Not hugely, but it is. And you can see it's because it has limit break boost. If this is on her main hand and you guys can use that somehow, it will increase how much her limit break does. If you get 3 more points, you get 40% damage, but usually 25. Because it's back here in half, I'm only getting 15% increase of my limit break damage. But the stack of that all together gave me 1,920, and you guys can see the rest of the front over here is just exactly how it is. Very easy, very straightforward, nothing crazy, not maxed out boost attack, not maxed out anything else, right? Mad Minutes giving me 6 points here, so my attack stance is a little bit better, and the limit break. So overall, this is the account I used. The cure over here actually helped a little bit, so if you guys want to use your story cure, it will definitely give you that little bit of edge. But this is the no overboost party I used, 119,000. I beat Very Hard Shiva at 117,000, and I'm going to show you exactly how this went. Alright, so this is a recording of the fight I did on the full clear. I'm going to teach you guys step by step exactly how this went. So the starting point here is that I'm going to switch to Aerith, and I'm going to get a D-Faith in there after he buffs. You got to wait for that buff to come on first if you want to take down as much damage as possible to survive with about 4,000 HP. So Aerith casted, I switched to Lucia, cast her, Barrage, get 2 more, down to no magic boost there, and I switched to defense mode. Try to switch to defense mode the last second. You should be playing in semi, or you should be playing in manual. One or the other, whatever you're comfortable with. But you're seeing that I only took about 3,000 damage there, a little over that. So your HP doesn't have to be crazy to survive these. Now I'm going to switch to Black Waltz number 2 because his magic attack, with my amount of HP, I had to lower that magic attack. But I switched to Black Waltz 1 once I cast 1 Lucia's weapon there. Then we focus on Black Waltz 1 because he heals. If you try to kill anyone else's HP too far, he'll end up healing it, ruin your DPS. So my goal here is to stay on Aerith and switch to defense and heal as much as I can while letting my DPS just go ham. The only trick here is that Lucia or Aerith is going to switch to Black Waltz number 2 to make sure his magic attack doesn't get too high. So while you're DPSing Black Waltz 1, Black Waltz 3 is staring, watching what's going on, and he's eventually going to do a big attack. So you're going to make sure Black Waltz 2's magic attack is down. The more magic attack is down between all 3 of them, including the main guy, you'll take less damage from triple Waltz right here. So immediately we switch over, we get that Barrage in there to lower 2, and we get Aerith to lower as well, if you can early. If you can't, save it, or try to D-Faith another enemy. So you're going to see we're going to take about, again, half HP here, because now everyone has a debuff on them, sort of. Taking a total of 2,800, and that's why my HP I wasn't really worried about. I pumped more into damage because I need the damage on this team. So, switch to Lucia, lower that magic attack over there again, and this is important because after one of those big attacks, they all go crazy, spamming their abilities a little bit, and you got to make sure your HP is constantly up, and that's why I'm always on my healer. Switch to defense when you see they're both casting. I believe I do it here. I wait. Oh, actually, look, rewind that. Okay, so my limit breaks are up, and I have defense on the enemy. I missed the defense down just by a little bit, but I will do damage during this phase because the first Waltz doesn't heal him until a certain threshold. So do some damage now so you have less of a DPS race later. So switching your limit breaks on Black 3 is totally fine, right? Make sure you are doing some damage to him. The more damage you do during this phase while all 3 are alive, the less you have to do during the DPS race. So, really good tip there. That helped me a lot, taking that chunk down, right? It made the difference of me not having to get one-shotted and losing my characters one by one. But, back to the same strategy. We're trying to kill Black Waltz 1 while lowering the attack of Black Waltz 2. All at the same time, always switch it to defense mode to making sure that we keep our defense up whenever the enemy is attacking and switching back to attack. So now, because we killed the first Waltz, he goes into soar, flying mode, and you can only use magic abilities, as you can see that little symbol there, to take away this bar. We're not going to focus on them right now. Now we just want to get rid of Black Waltz 2 as fast as possible just to get him out of the way. Keeping his magic attack down, healing when we need to with this limit break, so that way I can actually help with damage or defaithing the enemy. So you can see here I start using some arrows. This is where like Aerith has that downtime, right? Even though we're getting hit a little bit here, I know that we're going to be okay, so I want to get rid of him ASAP. If I feel like I have to keep some defaith, I'll switch the main boss, keep a defaith on him, switch back to Black Waltz 2. Right? There's a lot going on you have to keep in mind here. Switch your defense stance whenever AoE attacks are coming, so you make sure you survive them. Unlike me, who almost died. Right? It's not a perfect run, but that's the idea. Constantly going from attack stance to defense stance, and making sure your DPS only attack once the full attack stance happens. If you can do that, you're better off than what I did here. So, now that we got rid of Black Waltz 2, we're going to aim for the main guy because he's the only one left. And this is where only magic works. Save your cross slash, save whatever limit break you have that's physical until this is gone. He has bigger defense right now. He's resistance to physical, so you only can use magic here. Night Bloom does count towards breaking it. A big chunk like you just saw there. And it also lowers his magic defense, so once we're out of this, I can cast my limit breaks. Now, while you're using Runera's, Arrow, whatever magic you have, Runera is usually the way to go for most setups. As soon as I dropped it, I did my attacks here. But I could have waited until he lowered his defense even more because he has another stance coming up. And then used it there. But I don't think my limit break would have been up in time to cast it twice in this one fight. So I used it right away. While I still had the 2 defense down on magic and physical. It didn't matter as long as the physical defense was down for those attacks. So, doing a good chunk of damage. He's out of his stun mode. And this is where he goes into I exist. Right? He's all mad, only to kill. So you're going for your damage here. Just do as much as you can. Damage, and if your HP is full, you use your healer as a damage. This is where I should have used a limit break because it wasn't that much of a difference. After Cloud used like 1 Heart Edge and Aerith used Night Bloom, whatever your defense down is. And you could have got that before that character froze. Right? Because that would have been way more damage here. And then you would have had your limit breaks up eventually. But you can see it works out for me here. When someone's frozen, you can't do anything. Just make sure they're full HP. If you want, lower the enemy's physical attack. As you can see, that's a physical attack. You have to put physical defense up. Lower the enemy's physical attack down. I believe you're allowed to. I can't remember. But just find a way to lower the physical damage coming towards you. If anything, physical defense up. But not necessary for these first attacks, even with those small amount of HP I have. So, back to just DPSing. We're healing whatever he brings in. Try to switch to defense mode. Lower his defense and just keep going ham. This is just a DPS race from here. And you can see Lucia sometimes cast with her ATB. You can see a cure coming from somewhere else. Now, during this phase, one's going to get frozen. This is where we're going to use your Triangle Sigil Runeras. And they're going to come in very handy. So try to, after that first freeze, a couple DPS hits. But make sure to save some ATB gauge to get them out as soon as possible. Because now it's free damage time. And this is where I built up my next limit break. Very, very quickly. And it's ready. So that's why I ended up using it early, because I want to be ready for this part right here. So there we go. Full defense down, plus the enemy's defense down from his kit. And you can see that these 2 limit breaks alone, a level 5 and a level 7, doing 15,000 from Lucia. And then Cloud finished it off for a total of 33,000. And now it's going to happen where if you're not done, you're going to get frozen. I believe we have one more freeze that won't one-shot us. After that, he will start one-shotting your teammates, and you can't really do much about it. For me, this is where I just went ham. I made sure that Cloud was full HP, just in case another AoE is coming. Lucia helped with her Cura, as you guys saw. And here comes a freeze lock. We lost Lucia here, and we are going to defend this one. Right? Cloud's not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to get him down before that. And I thought this was like, oh no, one-shot phase, and after this is just Cloud and Aerith. No, this is one more strike. 4,000 damage, so we had plenty of room to continue to do more damage, and I think that came from doing damage in the beginning of the fight with those limit breaks, which really helped. So again, I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna cast limit break over here, making sure I survive. He's going into his like hyper mode, right? And we're just not gonna have any of it because we're gonna kill him. And boom, no overboost account. Beating this at 119,000 power level, no new event weapons, nothing like that, and I've only pulled on Aerith's banner for her costume and her prism rod, which I didn't even use the prism rod, because it's not overboosted. Materia is stronger. And that's how I did it. Pretty straightforward, really easy. It's just all about that strategy and having the right damage in the right place. You don't need crazy R abilities. You don't need to have crazy setups. Just that. And I just kind of proved it to show the loading screen. In between, it's the same account, same setup. So hopefully something here helped you guys out. I know you probably can't copy my setup, but again, replace the characters with what you have. Magic attack down from Barret, Tifa, or Red 13, whatever you guys got. Lucia was one that I used. And hopefully, if anything, this just shows you that the overboost is very strong in this game, but doesn't mean it's impossible. So go level up your weapons to 80 or 90. That just make your setups work and have fun with the game. For now, guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.